Alright, so we are back into Avowed. It's been a while. What's up?
Shore is most people's first view of the living lands and last brush with civilization.
We just came out of here, right? Emerald Stair is gonna say, without you, my animancers are in desperate need of guidance. I understand why you left, but your talents are wasted on that nest of vipers. When you have had enough of healing the body, come back to us and work on healing the soul.
Liviana didn't think you'd make it, but she never gave up on you.
I did come back to life, so. I've compared our local herbs to the same ones imported from Aedyr. If findings are accurate, then everything that grows in the living lands is more potent. Everything. Cures as well as poisons. Of course, all the best ingredients grow in the deadliest parts of the jungle. So maybe I should harvest a few seeds and pay someone to grow them in the republics just to see what happens. Or maybe I shouldn't contaminate the mainland until I understand what I'm dealing with. Okay, and then I remember we went in here. Saw all these giant mushrooms going around, which are kind of worrying, I suppose. It's a big land here. What's up, Rime Garlodia?
So, you're that godlike, the Aedyr envoy.
Yes,
You're the one who saves the ambassador from the strangle root, right?
indeed. You clearly want something from me. What is it? That was me. Yes. Narrow your eyes. Where did you hear that? Lie. You got the wrong Aedyrian, I'm afraid. Yep, perception. You clearly want something from me. What is it?
I'm just trying to help some friends of mine. They're Aedyrians, but they've had a string of bad luck. Is there any chance you could lend them a hand?
That this sounds like a setup. I can try. What does a Valiant care for some unlucky Aedyrians? More important issues need my attention. Sounds like a setup.
I know this is strange, but they're in a rough situation and, well, to be honest, they helped me out a while back when I needed it. I'm just trying to return the favor.
Explain to me how you know these people. Alright, what do your friends need help with? Explain to me how you know them.
A fair request.
Yes.
I was an animancer in Fjord, just through
Animancer,
the
huh?
mountains in Emerald Stair. A lot of Valian animancers came to Fjord to experiment without the restrictions that come from noble patronage. Well, it turned out my high-minded theories were more explosive than I had calculated.
Okay.
I washed out, disgraced. Then I left Emerald Stair and I lost myself in a bottle at the Grinning Balrog. Lawflet and Gladwine pulled me out of it.
Okay, 1 second. So what the hell is Emerald Stair? Emerald Stair is a region on the western coast of the Living Lands. Once a treacherous wilderness, settlers from the Valian republics transformed Emerald Stair into a lush farming community. The city of Fior Mes Iverno is one of the few places in Eor when animancers can receive the soul in peace. Right? Balrogs are massive creatures native to the Living Lands, frequently in hibernation and rarely spotted in the wild. Legends tell that a Balrog's form reflects their preferred season and ecosystem, where they act as hunters and gatherers. Theophil and Gladwin. I've already met them, apparently.
Oh, in the shantytown?
Yes, I'm working on getting them what they need.
Gelarde. Then I won't trouble you any longer, envoy. Farewell.
Interesting.
Envoy. Envoy.
So I already have the quest. A young couple with checkered past wants to flee the Aedyrian authorities in Paradise to live in Thirdborn. Remy, a friend of the couple, has asked you to procure supplies you need. Wondrous Kiss, Frost Eyesight, and Deed for Thirdborn. Get the deed for them. And then before you could deliver your missive from the Emperor, a mysterious assailant attacked you in the streets of Paradise. You died, yet you live. With this new lease on life, the time has come to track down the assassin and unravel the mystery of your survival. Find the Watcher. Rin, the local Watcher, may have insight into your near-death experience. She can be found in the hills to the northeast. Take the easternmost gate of Paradise and follow the path to the north. Report to the Ambassador. Check in with Lord Falchion Halgard, the Aedyrian Embassy. To reach the embassy, climb the stairs out of the Levinas Clinic and take the main road west. Okay. The admin district. Alright. Clearing out this unsafe Unsafe crates. See, they disappear. Okay, we may cross the bridge here to get to some place. Lots of breakable crates here. Fortunately, none of them have anything in them. Honestly, I find that to be kind of like a scam. Southern Paradise. Report to the ambassador. Find someone to report to at the embassy. The hell happened here? Administration District Fast Travel Beacon. What the hell is even that, brother? Just in the back streets. Okay. This is full of damn spiders.
I don't think the new owners like company.
Who's ready for more?
Alright. What the hell was going on over here? Horn. Alright, burn away this crap here. What end? I don't know. Seems like a nice little place here. I don't know why it is just lost and left lost. Could you just not like send someone to clear it out? Not all that difficult, you know. It's just basic spiders. Before I head down there. Unbar this door. Yeah, okay, and we're out. Okay, this is nice. Derelict garden. It's like an entrance. Okay, very good. Just walk straight into paradise from here. Yeah, burn them down. Leave nothing behind. I think these are eggs. Maybe that is the case. Maybe they are just eggs. By destroying these, I'm ending the menace of these spiders forever. At least in this area. And hey, no more spiders. Maybe I can just own this place now. No, maybe I can sell it. Maybe I can become a land baron. Start making mad dollars. This entire area is condemned. Why? Because there's a few spiders here?
Guess Aedyr discipline doesn't apply to pest control.
Yeah, obviously. Because, like, isn't this, like, right next to the embassy? Like, what are you doing, man? It's right behind the damn embassy. Oh, turns out these guys need me more than I thought. They cannot even take care of the damn embassy. Look at this, it's all webbed up. Alright, well, it killed him. There's someone hammering away. It is the embassy, or just a part of it, I don't know. So I'm just gonna find my own way into the embassy. Black Wing Glove. That looks cool. Plus 1% critical hit chance and plus 10% critical damage. The dyed leather of these gloves is supple and intricately tooled. The palm of the gloves is thin enough that the wearer can barely tell that anything lies between their hands and whatever they may hold, granting increased control and precision. Based on where you found these gloves, it is fair to assume they were once used to fire the arrow that slew you. Oh. Blackwing gloves. It's legendary. I don't have legendary gloves. I don't have gloves at all. I have BAM braces. More 15% stun. I mean, I might as well wear it. Apparently, this is where the shot came from. I just found it. Oh yeah, there's like oil and I guess that's the poison.
Wouldn't want their diplomats going hungry or sober.
So this is the barracks. Alright, I'm inspecting your barracks.
Sometimes we get more contraband coming through here than honest goods.
That's nice, I guess. That's good. Okay, we got a lady doing inspections. We got some kind of trader. We got like a pond or something. Scholar Agelgund.
Well, I'll be chopped by a Zarep queen. You're that godlike from the docks.
I am.
I can't believe my luck. Nothing all year, and then boom, interesting strangers just falling out of the sky.
Sounds like you've had other visitors, yeah.
Indeed, a young dwarf and his crew stopped by. Seemed agitated, like they were afraid of someone.
Oh, perception for a 3. It seems odd that they would come to a scholar for help. Do you know what they were looking for? I can think of a lot of reasons for sailors to seem agitated. Yeah, it seems odd they would come to a scholar for help.
They were asking all sorts of people. Seems like I was the only one willing to really speak to them. They were asking where they could find luminous Aedyr, of all things. Can't imagine what they'd needed it for.
Aedyr.
I said they were most likely out of luck, but I might know somewhere they might find some if they looked hard enough.
Where did you... I assume it's someplace remote and deadly?
Welcome to the Living Lands. Not long ago, a group of animancers looked to carry out some experiments into teleportation.
Oh.
They carried their instruments and a healthy supply of luminous Aedyr to the island of Castel's Folly. It's possible there's some still there.
I assume the experiment went poorly. You're a Edyr, if I'm not mistaken, but you seem to know a lot about animancy. You seem to advise to do any kind of experiments at a place called Castel's Folly. I assume the experiment went poorly.
Oh, I'm afraid not. No, those people were never seen again. That's why I think their Aedyr might still be there.
Well, they died, I'm guessing.
Why are you looking for those sailors? Did the Valian captain send you?
What Valiant captain are you talking about?
I don't know much, but one of the smugglers whispered the name Captain Bardato and spit on the ground.
Captain
The name
Bardato.
sounded Valian to me. I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Have you seen this Valiant captain in Paradise?
Oh no. I imagine a Valian sea captain knows better than to spend time among all these Aedyran soldiers. The folks you're looking for are probably getting themselves killed searching for Aedyr that probably isn't there.
Great.
I can tell you wouldn't listen to me if I warned you not to go to Castel's Folly, so I wish you luck.
Go to Castel's Folly, I guess. Okay.
An interesting day so far. An interesting day indeed.
You're having fun?
An interesting day so far. An interesting day indeed.
Alright. They're all traders, I'm guessing. Trades people.
Envoy, got a situation over here.
What's up, tradesperson?
Oh, good. You came over.
Oh, she's calling me.
Glad to see you're up and about.
Yes.
For fuck's sake, can we move this along? I don't have all day.
I wasn't about to let a few assassins. We can talk later. What are we dealing with?
The same thing we deal with every day. Most of us are off searching for the ones who attacked you. That leaves us short-handed, so people like her try to sneak in.
Huh.
I caught this one, but I have to check her cart for contraband. There's a lot to dig through.
I can lend an extra pair of hands. Oh,
Find anything?
still looking. 1 second. Tradesperson.
Find anything?
Okay, I'm still looking. Freaking grenade. Another grenade. Right.
Find anything?
This grenade doesn't look very legal to me.
I knew you were hiding something. You'd better have an ironclad explanation for this.
I don't know anything. Someone's trying to set me up.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for the help, Envoy. I think I can handle it from here.
Trying to freaking blow us up.
Don't worry. Where she's going, she won't be able to blow anything up.
Well, that's good.
Don't worry. Where she's going, she won't be able to blow anything up.
Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing.
You trying to bring a damn grenade into the embassy. I can't shoot that. It's not allowed. At least I don't think it's allowed. Should not be allowed if it is allowed. Although I'm gonna go in with all sorts of weapons. Although I'm the ambassador. Or what am I? The envoy. I'm allowed. Frig berries. Low guards. Doesn't save my life, but you know, good that you're here. Alright, it's been a couple of
This
hours.
is where you fell.
Yes.
Don't count on anyone cleaning up the bloodstain anytime soon.
There's a bloodstain? Oh yeah. There is a bloodstain. My blood. I own it. Alright. Apparently, there's a break in the wall here.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make sure that wouldn't be found.
Yeah. Golden ass chest. The hands occult. 1% critical hit chance and 10% shock damage. The origin of these finely made gloves is lost to the annals of history, just the way the god in whose image they were designed would like it. Oh, it's the god of, right, the people who don't know. Still, it is clear that they were created with practitioners of the arcane in mind. There is a faint static charge perpetually present on these gloves that can be felt so strongly it's almost painful while the wearer is channeling lightning magic. Grenade and a Margren's Fury. And an audit of confiscated goods. To be held until further notice. 1 boot knife, 5 white leaf, 6 swords, 33 arrows, 8 sweff berries, 4 grenades, modified pistol does not fire, 1 grave step, sickle unknown. Seen more weapons this week than in the past 2 months combined. Should report to Captain Cindric. Is this organized? What is Paradis planning here? Apparently they were confiscated and then restolen. Not enough, they were stolen once, they had to be stolen again.
Don't worry. Where she's going, she won't be able to blow anything up.
These people knew. You guys weren't here before, right? I mean, I guess a time has passed. I believe it was indeed night time last time I was here, so makes sense. People would show up. Is this the embassy? Old ass building? Okay, I guess. I mean, I thought it would be more like a military or like an impressive place, but you know.
I just don't get it. It's like there's something in the soil this year.
Crops are failing. There might be something in the soil. It might be the Dream Scourge. Maybe it is coming from the soil. Who knows? Checking out every street and every. I mean, these plants are growing fine. That's good, I guess. You know. I mean, they are flowers, and flowers not really known to be very useful. Plants, out of all the plants that are there, I mean, they are useful, I suppose. What's up, Aedyrians, footmen and soldiers, and who the hell is even you? Cadmion Ofric, hello.
Hey, it's the envoy.
It is.
Envoy, hey.
I swear, I owe you the world.
I own the world. He saved my life, remember?
I did.
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is
Yeda?
everyone else on the way?
I'm afraid not.
No.
Oh God, does he mean?
They're dead.
They didn't make it, Offric. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them? Or you didn't try?
They were dead already. The Oracle ripped their souls from their bodies and put them in a statue. The Oracle killed them. The details won't help you. Just know that they went quickly. I mean, they're gonna go kill the Oracle then. The details won't help you. Just know that they went quick. The Oracle ripped their souls from their bodies and put them in a statue. But then I don't want them to hurt the statue. You know. Just know they went quickly.
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offric, hey. Listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead?
I let him live. He has much to atone for.
What? But he...
More senseless killing won't bring them back.
Yep.
They didn't get justice, but at least I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy.
That's good. What's next for you two?
Ambassador Heelguard has written to Expedition Command back in High Crown to see if they'll let us come home.
Oh,
Oh, while we wait for their reply, I thought.
Wait. Let me guess. Mermaid's Den.
You told him?
Mermaid's
It was a
Den.
moment of weakness. I thought I was dead. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this.
No.
It belonged to our grandfather.
Delivers caution.
He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us to remind us to live well.
I'll treasure it.
Well, I'm sure you've got big Envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
Yep.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
I will. Take care, you two. Yeah.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
First time in my life I ever really felt part of something. And now it's gone.
It's gone, but you are alive.
I'm going to miss Yeda's campfire stories.
Yet I had the brain
Do you
scourge.
think the
Mind
ambassador
scourge.
will really give us leave to go home?
Maybe?
I wonder what the girls at the den are like. I hope they're nice.
Maybe.
Thanks again, Envoy.
Probably, if it's famous.
Envoy?
Alright, Ulfric.
I hope you take us up on those drinks in High Crown, Envoy. Oh, you could meet our mum.
Great.
Envoy? I wonder if the mermaid den is open.
Probably?
I don't know what I would have done if he'd... I keep thinking if I look away, he's gonna disappear.
He's there.
Oh, I should be heartbroken the team's gone, but... I'm just so glad he's here.
That's important.
Envoy?
Alright.
You,
You're in the embassy.
you died,
Hey, Garrick.
but you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you.
Hello, Garrick. The Cartographer's Guide, Volume 1. Long has the renowned Cartographers Guild served the emperors and queens of Aedyr. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the many maps throughout the empire. Whether to direct travelers throughout the expanse that is Aedyr, guide ship captains on their voyage throughout Eora, or simply adorn the walls of an aristocrat's home, one can rest assured that the Cartographers Guild is behind the creation of every one of these works of art. For over 2 centuries, since the Noble Expedition Corps discovered the Eastern Reach, we have worked and labored to keep all of the Empire and her colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do so for centuries yet to come. The Cartographers Guild. Aedyr Customs. Aedyr is a country rich with custom, and they are known for their strict adherence to them. Their customs run the gamut from grand celebrations like the Feast of Feasts to mundane superstitions such as ways to avoid sweat addiction. This volume will focus primarily on bigger celebrations, as no one knows how to throw an extravagant party quite like an Eternian, the Feast of Feasts. The biggest and most important of all, Eternian customs is the Feast of Feasts. This week-long celebration happens the first week of Fonestu, deep summer, and is dedicated to honoring the life of the first Ferkoyang. Each day of the week is devoted to some aspect of the Feyoking's life, and there are very specific dishes to be served at each meal. The Feast of Feasts originally began as a festival celebrating the birth of the Feyoking's first son and soon became a yearly occurrence during the week of his birthday. Currently, Eternians simply use it as an excuse for a party and pull out all the stops in an effort to outdo the previous year. And lest you wonder, as I did, which Feyoking is honored during the Feast of Feast, it is always the current Feyoking. For each Feyoning is the first and only Ferkonying. Ferkonying, I don't know what that means. Sweet treat. A special custom that arose at some point during the Feast of Feasts. Sweet treat started as a way to keep children occupied so the parents could dine in peace. While it is still used for that today, significance has been added to it. Each treat is placed in a container, usually small metal boxes, and hidden somewhere on the property. After everything has been hidden, the children are sent out to find the treasures. It is said now that the hidden treats represent Glanfarthen artifacts, and the children are the explorers, bringing the riches back to their new and rightful owners. Great, okay, incredible. Carnival of the Mask. When that's basically like colonization, stealing stuff from people. You know how it is. Cool stuff like that. What's going on here? Right, nothing. Yes, Carnival of the Mask. When the original colonists for Aedyr traveled to the new land to found the Drearwood in the name of the Erdurnian Fairconi, which is the king, I'm guessing, they encountered the Glanfarthen people. The Carnival of the Mask celebrates this meeting. Originally, it was merely a formal reenactment as a play of the tensions between the Glanfarthens and Erdurnian settlers, but it has since evolved into much more than that. Participants choose sides and come dressed in elaborate outfits depicting which group they have decided to align themselves with. Adornians or Glanfarthens. Everyone attends a masquerade ball, and this party replaces any semblance of the play that was presented. Winter's End. Winter's End was never anything more than an excuse for a celebration, and it hasn't changed at all in the years it has existed in Aedyr. It takes place during winter dusk and lasts all 3 days. People use the time to reflect on the year, celebrate their lives, and remember the dead, especially those who have passed in the recent year. Contrary letter. Ambassador Hildegard, I have maintained order in Paradise for many years. I know this city. When there is a good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you have allowed the Steel Garrote to terrorize my people, to sow distrust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash, or the embassy might not carry your banners for long. Claviger Raymond. Ooh, they had problems. The Aedyr Empire, Part 1 Origin. In approximately 2200 AI, a group of tribes called the People of the Deer unified into a new civilization called the Aedyr Kingdom. Okay, the tribes, small and widespread over the land, knew it would be better for their continued existence to unify. The leaders of each tribe became advisors to the king chosen by the group. Each advisor would still be lord over his people, but each lord would answer to the Pierre Conning, first king. This decision was exactly what was needed, and the Aedyrian kingdom thrived, spreading across the land and establishing strong trade routes. The Aedyrians became known as fair but shrewd businessmen. When the country thrived and internally there was a little strife, there were still the occasional skirmishes with the neighboring elven kingdoms of Culquin. Not long after the kingdom was formed, the Eddorian people began studying animancy. Still largely unknown at the time, animancy was an exciting, terrifying new realm in which Eddorian scholars saw great potential. This potential came to bear fruit in 2260 AI when a group of animancers working together transferred the soul of a recently departed man into another body, creating the first of what would later come to be known as the undead. The reaction to this discovery was swift and decisive. Both the king of Aedyr and the church of Wudikia condemned this event as the study of practice of and the study or practice of animancy was outlawed. It would never again be practiced openly on Adonian soil. Conflicts with Culklin continued, escalating into minor war in 2398 AI. Afterward, a treaty was signed, and the kingdom of Aedyr merged with Culklin to form the Aedyr Empire. With the political and military strife now settled, the Aedyr Empire would become an economic powerhouse, able to acquire and generate resources that were difficult to obtain in other parts of the world. The empire's trade routes became some of the most lucrative in the world. I think I already had that, but fine. Expanding borders. In 2602 AI, Aedirnian explorers returned from over the ocean, telling tales of the ruins and treasures there and of expansive fields that were perfect for growing borlas. The explorers warned the first king that the locals were not friendly to outsiders, but the first king, seeing this as an opportunity to extend his empire and secure trade on another continent, sent more explorers. Over the next 20 years, the area that would become the Deerwood was investigated, mapped, and colonized. In 2623 AI, the first permanent Aedyrian colonial settlements were established. Vorla's fields were set up north of the forests in the Deerwood, but between the conflicts with the Glanfarthens and the War of the Broken Stone, it floundered. It wasn't until 2643 that the opportunity presented itself again. Some Eostinian pilgrims wanting to escape persecution established colonies and Volras farming operations in the territory of Reed Kiris. With Grand Valia on the verge of collapse, the first king wanted to ensure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement and even paid to have the pilgrims set up in the new world. Because the first king was still trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, he was unable to properly respond to Admeth Hadrit when he issued his ultimatum to avoid a rebellion and leave himself time to oversee the Vorlas farm in Reed Kiris. The first king relented and made Admirth a grief plantain. In return for this concession, Admirth spent time and resources on the Deerwood trade and shipping routes, benefiting the first king with increased income. For 7 years, the Deerwood provided Aedyr with a steady income, leaving the first king time to ensure his trade system in Reed Kiris was strong. But with the first king's attention elsewhere, Admirth instituted the 10 years peace, ending slavery in the Deerwood and permanently removing one of the revenue sources provided by the Deerwoodian explorers, the artifacts from the ruins scattered throughout Deerwood. At this point, the first king's word meant nothing to the citizens of the Rearwood. Admirth Hadrith had replaced him as their true leader. Okay, so there was a rebellion then. In order to undermine Admirth's standing, the first king found allies willing to explore the ruins against the treaty conditions and plunder them. Soon Aedyr again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the first king distanced himself from the operation, certain that there was no way to link him to the proceedings. But the Greek, using means provided to him by his grandfather and allies, discovered the evidence needed to prove the first king was behind the plunders. The conflict that arose from this revelation led to Admeth declaring independence for Deerwood in 2668 AI. After a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Admeth, the first king relented. Trying to keep control of the Deerwood had become too costly. He signed treaties with the new Duck of the Deerwood and returned his attention to Reed Caress, redoubling efforts on the Warlast trade, which is still running today. Tain's diary. Dear diary, here I am in the Living Lands. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. Also the most flavorful according to these mushrooms, and mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Beckerra I'd bring back a souvenir. There's rumor of a fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to a collection. A message is scribbled on the inside cover. If found, please return to Tayan the Archmage, author of Tayan's Chaotic Orb. Steel Garrot report. We found this book on a public bench. After careful study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found on scrolls of Tayan's Chaotic Orb. Be advised that Tayan is in the Living Lands. As a member of the Circle of Archmagi, he has license to go where he pleases. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tayan is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. Alright, Garrick.
None of the clerks believe my story.
Did I say? Oh, yeah.
Keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Alright, you were with me in the fort.
You've got some god looking out for you.
That's true.
Still can't believe you're alive.
I am alive.
I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Hello, Tig, TYCG.
Envoy, hello.
Hello.
I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Yep.
Tej. I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
Perception. Something happened between you two. Do we have a problem here? Whatever's going on between you two, keep it to yourself. Yeah, something happened between you two.
It's nothing like that. You run into all sorts of characters around here, is all. Some more polite than others. I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't.
They did not.
No one expected the envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
I think there's more to the story here. Whatever's going on between you to keep it to yourself. I think there's more to the story here.
Well.
Kai.
Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarok.
Ballarok?
Trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
What the hell is a Ballarok? Ballarocks are massive creatures near the Living Lands, frequently in hibernation. Yeah, what does this mean?
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
It's true. Vanguard Scott, I'm no stranger to gut rot. Out in the field, you don't always get to pick your water source. Did you really have to kill someone, Teague? Right, well, I've heard enough. Yeah, I'm no stranger to gut rot.
Yeah, but now you'll never think of Tej the same way again, will you?
No.
And now he'll never think of you the same way either.
Let's not make more of it than it was. I shouldn't have said anything.
Did you really have to kill someone, Teague?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Huh.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
Great.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
Come on, Tig, you're not gonna stand up to Kai?
The 7-foot-tall Almawa with biceps the size of my head? No, I am not.
Flatterer. You know I'm barely over 6.5.
How about you answer some questions for me, Tig?
Naturally, sir.
It is your job.
How can I help you?
I'd like to understand Paradise better.
What would you like to know?
When was the city founded? Who lives here?
If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Melting pot.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior.
Right, and what are Aedyr's intentions in Paradise?
Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both?
I'm not hearing anything about the Dream Scourge. I had learned something else about Paradise. Yeah,
That's where you come in.
Dream Scourge.
Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets.
What about the island?
That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it. And the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day.
Right, how do the Paradisians feel about us?
Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else.
That's
People
nice.
who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time and their skates are made from real copper and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods. They like us a lot.
Tell me about the people who tried to kill me.
The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Aedyr banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect.
Great.
They agree to contracts with families in Aedyr seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire.
Great. Something else.
Of course.
The Emperor didn't have time to brief me on the living lands. What do I need to know?
There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific?
How do the living lands in Aedyr compare on a map?
Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Aedyr is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds.
Wait, where are the living lands in relation to Aedyr?
The living lands are located in the far north of Eora. Aedyr is southwest of the living lands, situated along the equator.
How about the weather, the terrain? I need to know what to expect.
The living lands are more arid than Aedyr, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the living lands are a place of extremes.
So I have read.
Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes.
I had some other questions about the living lands.
I'll share what I can.
Who's in power here?
There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise.
Huh. What should I know about Fjord?
Fjord Messeverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro.
Ignacy Vidaro.
Inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields.
That's
In
bad.
any event, I believe that covers Fjord.
Alright, I don't know much about the Valerian Republics.
The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Aedyr. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top.
That's...
But if anyone asks,
yeah.
I was not the one who told you that.
That sounds like treason. What about Thirdborn?
Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
Oh, he's from Thirdborn.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out.
Echoes tend to know more about Rautai.
Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Aedyr. If Aedyr is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Okaizo.
Kaizo, yeah.
Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea.
What?
They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
Oh.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Aedyr doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
What about Solace?
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pagrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Well, can you tell me anything about the Paraguayan dwarfs then?
Naturally. The Pargrunan are a unique
Pargrunan.
community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Aedyr, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Aedyr must cherish them.
Abaddon?
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do.
Something else.
I'm an open book.
I've been hearing a lot about this Inquisitor Lodwin. Who is she?
Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwin is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet.
Death Guard. Death Guards are strong-willed individuals who refuse to die. They cling to life by maintaining a deep connection to some unresolved personal crusade, often tied to their faith. Rare and terrifying, Death Guards are some of Eora's most brutal and uncompromising villains. Villains, huh? What was Lodwin like before she became a Death Guard?
I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Aedyran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same.
Right, I never encountered an actual Death Guard. I thought they were figures from old stories.
Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Aedyr, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I've heard of no others except those I've read about in the histories, or, as you say, in stories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a Death Guard that did not end with them going quite mad.
Huh.
When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle.
Right. What do you know about the Steel Garrote?
Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Aedyr, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive.
Yeah.
They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodica. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodica's priests, or Wodica herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
Right. Wodica, the goddess of vengeance. Lodwin's chosen a challenging patron.
Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Boudica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Boudica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free.
Alright, something else.
By all means.
I was told to meet with a watcher, but I don't know anything about them. What can you tell me?
I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city.
Yes.
She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Aedyr, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn.
What happens to watchers in Aedyr?
The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Boudica's courts, so long as they're controlled.
Right.
The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
Are they dangerous?
A watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am, in any case. The Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad.
You know too much. Could I become a watcher?
Yes and no.
Oh?
So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know.
Are there any famous watchers I should know about?
Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday.
They're alive?
In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runed, of course.
Runed?
And there was Aedyr. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago, slain by a great serpent gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end.
But Captain 404, you know quite a lot about watchers for a secretary, yeah.
I don't think so.
The envoy is right. You're basically a Watcher encyclopedia.
Why should a secretary be limited to knowledge of filing systems and how the ambassador takes his tea? I was a boy once. Watchers were a special interest of mine when I was young.
Or you are a
He
watcher.
sounds defensive to me. Does he sound defensive to you, Envoy?
Very defensive.
I am not a Watcher.
Uh-huh.
Exactly what a Watcher would say.
Yeah.
Both of you, please, your fun puts me at tremendous risk. This isn't a subject the Inquisitor takes lightly.
All right, all right. I know you're not a Watcher, Teach. You'd be better at dice.
That is true.
Apology accepted.
Something else.
Of course.
You're the ambassador's secretary. What's that like?
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the claviger far more than he lets on. And without the claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me.
What's he like when he's not working?
He doesn't know what to do with himself.
Workaholic?
You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose years later, he still does.
You don't want his job?
Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy.
What else?
I'm an open book.
Get it out.
Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, envoy.
That was a long conversation. Like, insanely long.
Envoy, glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
Cannot.
Safe travels, envoy.
To the ambassador.
Is it really you?
It is indeed the ambassador. Unsent letter. Claviger Aemon, I know the blighting of the Strangleroot is a cause for concern, but I must strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional crops from pure Messiverno. We cannot endorse the blasphemous trade of animancy, much less welcome it into our dinner tables. Aedyrian dialects. The sun does not set on the Aedyrian language. Those of us who commune with this proud language or some derivation of it populate every corner of Eora. Most of us who speak this wonderful tongue know it as Aedyrian, but scholars and those obsessed with correctness often qualify it as modern or contemporary Aedyrian. This is to contrast the language you and I speak today with Eld Aedyrian, the old elven language that was spoken in the Aedyrian Empire back before the pioneer settlers of the Drearwood built their longships. If Eld Aedyrian could be considered the mother of the living Aedyrian, the language of Hillspeak could be seen as Aedyrian's cousin. Hillspeak is fading from common use, but many of the elves, especially the older ones in the Aedyrian heartland, still use this dialect. Whether you know it or not, if you can read these words, you can understand Hillspeak. It is almost identical to Aedyrian, but includes a large vocabulary of archaic words that have fallen out of use in today's Aedyrian. When you hear bards sing of old Aedyrian poems, they are often lines of chorus that sound like melodic nonsense inserted to complete rhymes. These are usually instances of words that are lost from our common language but still used in Hillspeak. While Hillspeak is familiar to speakers of so-called modern Aedyrian, the same cannot be said of our language's predecessor. Eld Aedyrian is a dead language, spoken by academics but not used in any major community. Eld Aedyrian words are often familiar to Aedyrian readers, but the words use orthography that has since been abandoned. Unfamiliar accent marks abound. For example, Eld Aedyrian contains some diphthongs that have no place in the modern Aedyrian, as well as a few tricky consonant clusters. EA creates a EA sound that sounds like the colloquial salutation Heya, Eya. EO sounds like AO. That sound is still used in the modern word Eora. EY is pronounced EI, such as in Wraith. UE, okay. It does not count for names given given names of Aedyrians, Drearwoodians, and Raidskians to come from Eld Aedyrian. Some examples. Aldwin is spelled Aldwin because of the long vowel sound on the Y. Drinsic, Gister, Selectisic, Ugram, okay, yes, names. Letter to the Inquisitor. Inquisitor, I have been in Emerald Stair long enough to confirm our worst suspicions. The people of Fior Mez Ivino care not for the laws of mortals or gods. Animancy and folk magic are peddled in defiance of Odekia. Their crimes are innumerable, their way of life intolerable. All is not lost. Politically, they are unstable, too focused on themselves to notice us, our eager hands tightening the garrote. We await your order, your friend in the forest. Oh. Interesting. They're gonna take over that place. Interesting. Ambassador Hildegard's journal. I must admit, it is proving impossible to build diplomatic relations. The locals have a natural distrust of outsiders, and we have nothing they want. Inquisitor Lodwin believes that time and pressure will prevail. Would that I shared her confidence. Lodwin, under her gaze, I feel scrutinized down to the bone, picked apart like carrion, and stared through by a pair of cold, motionless eyes that have glimpsed too far beyond the veil, reducing me to some depraved pilgrim who prays only for her ossified claws to work their way under my skin, liberating me from this pathetic envelope until at last we are bound together as a skeletal pair, limbs intertwined, not as two beings but as one. There is no shame in being attracted to power. Nevertheless, I must keep such feelings to myself, lest they be met with revulsion or worse, enthusiasm. Well, Ambassador Falcion Hilgard.
I can't believe you're alive.
You look like
When
me.
they dragged you to Liviona's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
Constitution 5 out of 1. Disoriented, lightheaded, my pulse is racing. 5 out of 4, as vigorous as a drake in rut. Reserve another 1. Well, I have considered chartering a boat back to Aedyr, ready to get to work. Fine, so who killed me? Groaned pitifully, like I've come back from the dead. Nah, man, I'm as vigorous as a drake in a rut.
Not even death can slow you down, I see.
Nope.
But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor?
Give him the Emperor's missive. Here you are, Ambassador. I hope this was worth of the trouble. Glad to finally rid of this thing. You can read the missive, but I prefer to hold on to it. Oh. I do not trust him. I would like to hold on to the missive so I can show it to other people. I'd prefer to hold on to it.
I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Aedyr Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority.
Yep.
Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation.
I don't have the might. I have the dexterity. Flip a few coins from his purse while he talks. Gravity, absolutely. His Majesty is concerned the Crown's efforts in the Living Lands could be jeopardized by the Dream Scourge. The Emperor sent me to investigate the Dream Scourge.
You've seen
100
how
bucks.
wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
No intellect. Maybe it has something to do with my godlike nature. I also want an arrow in my guts. Yeah, arrow in my guts.
Trust me, we'll get to that. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
Makes sense. Then we better get to work. Assuming it's not already here, you should have sent for some be sooner, not way too late. Dream Scourge, where did the name come from? Assuming it's not already here.
Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
And you're not, as you should be. Tell me about these rebels. Who are they? What's all the trouble? And you're not?
At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
That they did. Why go after me? I just got here. Killing me was bold, I'll give them that. Such blatant disrespect cannot go unavenged. It was bold.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The killer sent a message, but this is our chance to send one in return. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life.
These Paradisian rebels must face justice.
That they must. Where is this Inquisitor Lordwyn I keep hearing about? The Dream Scourge in the top parity sounds like she's the one who's really in charge. I'll be the one to decide punishment, if any, little plenty of justice. Yeah, where is she?
Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner.
You like her.
Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know.
That's true.
I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise.
Local expert is exactly what we need. A tracker guy, we're not hunting deer. You've proven yourself to be capable so far. What can you do that you can't? I consider it a recommendation. A local expert is exactly what we need.
Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
He will know.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another.
Sister visit a watcher. I feel fine if that is your concern. Are the living lands so dangerous my soul is at risk? Yeah, I'm sure we should a watcher.
An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Wink, I always do. Let's get on with it then. My assassin could be anywhere by now. Kai, I need you by my side. Can I count on you? Wish me luck, Ambassador. I always do.
Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Alright, report to the Ambassador. Level up, level 6. Find the Watcher. And an ability point. Godlike. Do I have a companion point? No. But I do have the. I'm not level 10 yet. Piercing. I mean, I could just get this. Nope, player level 10. Right. Stamina cost of dodge. Occasionally receive extra upgrade material. Crafting upgrade materials cost 25% less. Unlocks finesse. Increases damage with one-handed melee weapons. Increase parry effectiveness. Food restores more health. Binds in poison. Channel the beyond, becoming invisible and draining essence until your next combat action. I think I'll just grab. Oh, I can't even grab this. He's level 8. Then I guess I'll get Scavenger then. And pick extra herbs. Then we can crank on more decks. Mobility and flexible use of your arsenal is key. Rangers and casters who favor ranged weapons. Critical hit chance and your maximum range for weapons. Could also grab intellect. Maximum essence and resistance to the ignited shock when frozen. Or resolve, internal drive, determination, and fearlessness. Increase maximum stamina and the frequency and effectiveness of second wind. Good for warriors who need to swing heavy weapons, survive big hits. I think I'll go with Dex. %. Or Constitution and Might has already been upgraded. Kai's training. We'll just go for more Dex. 5 Dexterity. Plus 18% attack speed and plus 33% action speed. Alright, Ambassador.
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you survived the attempt on your life. But let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
Oh, I guess I'll be going now. +1 attribute point. What are you talking about? I did that already. Alright. That's all there is to do here. Totem of rightful rulership, mapping the living lands, cartographer in Dawn Shore. Is this not Dawn Shore? It is indeed Dawn Shore. I just don't know where the hell he is. Castle's Folly, I know what that is over there. Don't know. Wasn't in Dawn Shore, exam reduced for this thing. Right. Something. Before you could deliver your missive, stuff happened. Yeah, and we have a nice little area here. It's called Southern Paradise. I believe we started around here. Never went down here though. Never remembered. Okay. A lot of broken stuff down here. A lot of broken scaffolding and the like. Guessing this canal or whatever leads out to the oceans. Apparently we're out at Southern Paradise, so we're right over there. Administration District. Alright, I just kind of swam across.
Come on. Walk in, give her the letter, and go. You can do this.
What's up, Belia?
You don't have to say anything. The letter will do the talking for you.
You seem nervous. Is something wrong?
Sort of. Maybe you can help. I was seeing this girl, Nasha, down at the bathhouse. I'm sure it was just business at first, but we fell in love. I haven't been in a while, though. And the thing is, I've met someone else.
All you can do is let her down gently. The heart wants what it wants. If she works at a bathhouse, it was always just business. Let her down gently.
I know. It's the least she deserves. I wrote her a letter, but I'm too cowardly to deliver it. If you're headed that way, would you mind giving it to her?
Career work is usually a paying job. Yeah.
Right. Of course. I can pay you. I'd pay anything to not feel so guilty.
Alright, it's a deal.
Thank you. I used to wonder why no one talked about this. Now I understand. Nasha should be
Belia's
working right
letter.
now. The place is called the Mermaid's Den.
Oh, great.
It's the big one with the balcony and the round window. If you get lost,
Good luck.
look for the mermaid mural. You can't miss it. And here's some coin for your trouble.
Thank you.
This may be the most foolish thing I've ever gotten myself into.
Probably.
This may be the most foolish thing I've ever gotten myself into.
Falling into love with a lady at a bathhouse. Now, I had some other stuff too. That's Belia's letter. A letter bound for the bathhouse, written in a hasty feminine hand. It speaks nervously of new love and not wanting to cause any pain. We also got Heroic Pride. No, that's not it. I got something else. They gave me something. Carry capacity, move speed, metal greaves, steel garrote medallion, resolve. Right now I have fire damage or more resolve. I'll grab resolve, honestly. Seems nicer. But I also got something else. Oh, this got Delver's Caution. 2 dexterity and parkour speed. A thin band of Aedyr bisects the center of this simple, unaffected gold ring. The metal is well worn and scratched in places, as if it had adorned a laboring hand for many decades. The band's interior is engraved with the words, "Don't look down." Critical hits deal poison. I don't really care about Celestial Loop, so replace it with Delver's Caution. More dexterity is always good. 7 dexterity, 22% attack speed, and action speed also is up. Parkour speed also went up, that's also good, I guess. Then this is the way to other part of Paradise, the bad part. Okay. Can I not head up there? I guess not. What is even up here? Hello? Hello there? The Market District. Alright, I didn't really want to explore more. Actually, I want to end the episode. Taking that. Travel to Paradise Hightown. Interesting, and there's like a door to go there. Proper area. And where there's smoke, there's fire, I guess. Anyway, we'll save the game. And I'll see you in the next one.